city of Ibadan, where the red earth remembers every footstep and every title, must be earned, a story unlike any other has just been written. A man who once ruled as a governor, who was impeached, humiliated, yet returned with grace. Today he sits on the ancient throne of his forefathers. This is the true story of Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja, the man who rose, fell, waited, and finally became the 44th Olubadan of Ibadanland. Born on September 25th, 1944, in the Gambari area of Ibadan, Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja grew up in a city that never sleeps, the largest in West Africa. He was brilliant, ambitious, and restless. Education took him beyond Nigeria all the way to Belgium, where he studied chemical engineering. But something stronger than science called him back home: service. By the early 1990s, Ladoja had entered politics, first as a senator, then as a businessman, with influence stretching across Nigeria's southwest. And in 2003, destiny crowned him governor of Oyo State. It seemed he had reached the peak of power until politics struck its hardest blow. Barely 3 years into his tenure, a storm brewed. Disagreements with powerful political forces, including his own party's godfathers, turned friends into foes. In January 2006, Ladoja was impeached and thrown out of office. He lost everything: the seat, the power, the allies. But he didn't lose his will. For months he fought in court, and like the proverbial warrior who never accepts defeat, he returned triumphantly in December 2006 when the Supreme Court declared his impeachment illegal. Still, the political fire had burned deep scars. When his term ended, Ladoja didn't chase more offices. He began a quieter, deeper journey, one not toward the ballot, but toward the beaded crown. In Ibadan, the path to kingship is not inherited, it is earned. Every Olubadan must climb through 22 chieftaincy ranks, each taking years or even decades. Ladoja began that climb back in 1991, when he became a Mogaji, the head of his family compound. From there, he moved step by step, Otun Balogun, then Otun Olubadan. In July 2025, the passing of Oba Owolabi Olakulehin left the stool of the Olubadan vacant. All eyes turned to one man, Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja. The Wotun were Olubadan. The Olubadan in council convened, and by consensus, his name was chosen. The Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, gave his approval. And on September 26, 2025, just one day after his 81st birthday, Ladoja was crowned the 44th Olubadan of Ibadanland. From the chambers of politics to the throne of tradition, his journey came full circle. The same city that once watched his fall now watched his coronation. History had completed its rhythm. Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja's story is one of resilience, patience, and destiny. He taught us that power may fade, but honor endures. True leadership is not in position, but in perseverance. And that sometimes the fall is part of the preparation for a greater rise. From governor to king, from the corridors of government to the sacred stool of Ibadan, his story reminds us that every crown has its scars. This has been Behind the Bubbles, where we uncover the real stories behind the headlines, the rise, the fall, and the rebirth of greatness.